who is watching this from the C3A Facebook page. Thank you for tuning in today's session, Navigating Wet Market Better. My name is Christabelle and I'm an active health coach with Sport Singapore. And with me, I have my fellow coach, Christopher, who will be joining us later on. This session is specially brought to you by Sport Singapore as part of the National Silver Academy E-Nugget series. Let me first begin by giving a brief introduction about ourselves. So Active Health is a social movement by Sport Singapore. We're under the umbrella of Active SG that aims to empower individuals to take ownership of your own health and wellness. We take a holistic approach looking at health and wellness by targeting 4 main domains: physical activity, screen time, sleep, and nutrition. If you have been with us last year, we have went through on nutrition, sleep, and screen time. So today we'll be focusing on our last topic, physical activity. As our title suggests, we'll be looking at how physical activity will enable you to navigate your wet markets better. Well, exercise is typically misrepresented as something that is for the young and the fit, right? But that is simply not true. I know many of you seniors out there are also very active. So today, we will look at understanding why building up different components of your fitness is important and how we can optimize our recovery. So we'll be sharing some practical tips as well as doing some physical activity, very mild ones. So please join us later. If you have any questions during the course of this session regarding physical activity, please just type them into the Facebook comments. Our moderator will help us to collate them and we will answer them during our Q&A segment. Okay, so right now, maybe you'd like to grab a piece of paper and a pen if you have not done so, and get ready to take down some notes. Are you ready? Okay, let's dive right in. Let me share with you some stats and some information about physical activity for a start. According to Sport Singapore in 2019, less than half of our working seniors exercise 3 days or more in a week. Well, this is quite a worrying sign because we are not doing enough physical activity to maintain our health and our fitness. We all know that there are numerous physical and mental benefits that are associated with physical activity, right? Studies have shown that maintaining regular physical activity can actually help to prevent common diseases such as your heart disease and diabetes. Exercise also improves your overall immune function, which is very important for seniors like yourself, as your immune systems are often compromised. So exercise also will produce endorphins, which is your happy hormones, and this can act as a stress reliever. How is this important? It also links to your sleep. When you are able to manage your stress better, you'll be able to sleep better and get the benefits of good sleep, like we mentioned the last session on sleep and rest better. How about retired seniors? Retired seniors, on the other hand, they are exercising more frequently, but there is still a significant number of seniors who are not doing enough. We know that exercise also helps us to maintain strong social ties, which is very important to build a sense of purpose and also help you to avoid feelings of loneliness, isolation, or even depression. And this is very common as we stop working and we start to have more time on our hand. According to our World Health Organization recommendations, adults and seniors are both recommended to perform a minimum of 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity a week. Okay, so that means if you're exercising 5 days a week, that breaks up to about 30 minutes each session. So you might be wondering, okay, 1 hour, 50 minutes is equivalent to 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And how can I possibly carve out so much time for exercise? Well, one of the tricks is you can actually break down your exercise into bouts of 10 minutes. So if you look at 10 minutes 2 times or 3 times a day, that's how you can actually accumulate to 150 minutes a week. And we're not talking about just any type of physical activity. We are specifically talking about moderate intensity physical activity. What does that mean? It means that when you're doing a physical activity, you should be able to still talk, have a conversation with someone, but singing becomes a bit tiring or a bit challenging, okay? So try out the next time when you go for your brisk walks, your exercise sessions, whether you're exercising at the moderate intensity, okay, where you still can talk, but you can't sing. So we all know that there are many barriers to exercise for seniors. Let us explore some of them, okay? So seniors who have fallen before, or maybe you experience the fear of falling, you tend to have lower levels of physical activity because you want to avoid the chances of falling, right? So as a result also of declining physical function, physical activity becomes more effortful. Just recall yourself climbing a flight of stairs 10 years ago. It is definitely much easier then compared to now, right? So lower levels of strength, balance, and also mobility will also reduce your confidence to perform physical activity. And seniors may be experiencing a range of physical or medical conditions, ranging from your high blood pressure, your high cholesterol, diabetes, dementia, and even osteoporosis. So with so many medical condition, appointments, and things to look out for while caring for your health, it can be quite difficult to see how exercise is also a form of medicine. So seniors tend to often solely rely on medications to manage their health and may not have the knowledge and the confidence to exercise safely while suffering from these conditions. Last but not least, as Singaporeans become more and more tech savvy, we rely a lot on technology, on machines to replace human effort, right? So how many of you, when you go to the wet market, you bring along something else, okay? Maybe someone else to help you to carry the groceries or even a trolley. Some of you may even resort to, maybe you see a lot of e-scooters around, all right? So we don't even need to walk anymore. We can rely on technology, on machines like that to help to do our daily activities. Of course, most of you are even more tech savvy now. You're even using online apps to go for your grocery shopping. You may not even step out of your house anymore, right? So you might be on your phone, just buying groceries, getting them delivered right to your doorstep. Okay, so all this combines together and all will reduce your confidence and also your motivation to move or even to perform physical activity. One of the pain points, or many seniors will mention, is knee pain. And it's so common around among seniors. 1 in 5 Singaporeans over the age of 60 actually suffer from some form of knee pain. Well, not all knee pains are serious. Some may be manageable and they may not affect their daily function. Well, some may have severe symptoms that really affect their day-to-day activities. So you'll see on the slide that there are few factors that can cause this. One of them, you see the third one, is the reason osteoarthritis, right? So the wearing of your knee cartilage. So when your cartilage starts to deteriorate, your bones start to rub against each other and you end up feeling pain, stiffness, and swelling. So maybe I'll just mention the other two. Number 1 and 2, which are not so common or obvious. So the first one, the tight muscles. So the most common muscles to become tight and cause knee pain is actually your hamstring and your quadricep muscles. Okay, so hamstring muscles, which is the back of your thigh, and the quadricep, which is the front of your thigh. So this tightness in both muscles can actually cause pressure over your kneecap, okay, causing it to rub on the joint underneath it. So when you're able to boost your muscle strength, it actually helps to stabilize your knee joint and helps also your muscles to absorb the stress that you place on your knee when you walk. Okay. Number 2, some muscles may not be working, or maybe they are weak. When muscles are weak, they are unable to keep your knee properly aligned, okay, especially when you need it for some foot contact with the ground. This can result in increased stress to the structures of the knee. And again, all, like we mentioned, movement causes pain, but actually a frequent dosage of exercise and stretching will actually mitigate some of this knee pain. As you can see on this next slide, that we have a lot of muscles surrounding your knee. And all these muscles are actually connected to other joints, other bones like your hips, your ankles, and all of these muscles work together to help you with your day-to-day activities. So what a lot of us do not understand is that tightness and weakness in your hips or your ankles can also lead to knee pain. All right. So if you're thinking about strengthening your muscles, not just your quads, your quadriceps, not just your hamstring, maybe you like to also strengthen the muscles around your hips and also your core to help you to manage that. So when we stop moving as much, we will start to lose strength and your balance, your mobility, and actually this can initiate a downward cycle towards losing your independence. Let me mention just a little bit on this term called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is commonly known as age-related muscle loss. So after the age of 30 to 49 years old, your muscle mass actually declines 3 to 8% per decade. After 50 years old, your muscle mass declines 5 to 10% per decade. And maybe some of you, after 70 years old, the decline actually accelerates to up to 15% per decade, okay? So this loss of muscle mass will also accelerate the loss of our bone mass or bone density, okay? And that is about 1 to 3% annually, right? What happens when we lose bone mass and muscle mass, okay? You start to feel that, yeah, it is difficult to move, right? Exercise is more effortful. And the more natural reaction is we will avoid moving, right? And when we stop using them, you all know that when we use it, when we don't use it, we lose it, right? So we start to lose muscle mass. And again, without the impact and the loading on the bones, we start to lose our bone density. And again, it feeds on that vicious cycle, losing our ability to move, okay? So that is why we want you to encourage you to move even with some pain, with some immobility. Don't stop moving, okay? We will go through some exercises later on that you can incorporate, do some stretching to stretch out those tight muscles so that you're able to move better. Right now, I'm going to invite my fellow coach, Christopher. He's going to come on this stage and take on this time to go through more about fitness components. And also, if you don't have a piece of paper and pen with you, please grab them because we're going to take some time to plan on our exercise or our workout program in a week, okay, to get you started. So let's welcome him.
Okay, thank you, Christabelle, for the kind introduction. I'm Active Health Coach Christopher, and I'll be going through with you the rest of the series today. Okay, so without further ado, let's play a small game. Okay, over here in the slides, you will see 4 different scenarios in which fitness can play an important component too. So we have carrying a bag of groceries, lifting your grandchild as quickly as you can, going for a walk or hike, and lastly, tying your shoelaces. Okay, so let's start with the first one, carrying a bag of groceries. So I have 4 different aspects of fitness. I would like you to guess which one of these 4 is actually pertaining to scenario number 1, carrying a bag of groceries. We have strength, cardio, flexibility, as well as power. Okay, would you like to make a guess? So again, we have these 4, strength, cardio, flexibility, as well as power. So the right answer for number 1 is actually strength. Okay, so sometimes when you're going to the grocery shopping or for your wet market, you will intentionally not buy too many things. Or if you are buying things such as water or canned food that's very heavy, usually you'll bring along someone with you, or you will use something like a trolley. Okay, this is the reason because you might not have enough strength to carry all of these things and bring back home safely. Okay, let's go on to the second one. The second one, lifting your grandchild as quickly as you can. So take note, the key word is as quickly as you can. Okay, so we have 3 more, power, cardio, as well as flexibility. Okay, and the answer is actually power. Okay, so just take note that for power, we're actually looking at how much or how quickly you can generate force. So different from strength, power, there is a speed component. So I know there's a lot of kids out there or a lot of toddlers, they like it when you toss them up in the air or you lift them up quickly. Okay, all of that requires power. Of course, this also applies to our day-to-day tasks as well, such as walking up the stairs or even trying to rush for the public transport. Okay, the third one, going for a walk or hike. I think this is quite clear-cut. We only have two options left. Okay, either cardio or flexibility. And the answer is cardio. Okay, so cardio is how effortful or how much effort it takes, okay, for you to do a task for an extended period of time. Okay, so with a better cardiovascular system, okay, with better heart health, okay, you're able to do the same physical activity for a longer duration. In the case of a wet market, you're able to do your grocery shopping for a longer period of time without getting tired, queuing for your food, queuing for the meats, queuing for the seafood. And of course, the last one would be flexibility. So I'm not sure how many of you out there, you actually find it difficult to actually reach down to your feet and tie your laces or to grab something from the floor. A part of it is due to the lack of flexibility, where you're not able to reach down to the ground in a safe and efficient manner. So that's why a lot of times you have to get seated or you have to do it from a different position. All right, we still have three more. Don't worry, you can't get it all correct. So we have these three scenarios. The first one is quite common if you take a lot of public transport. Standing in the train, okay, when it's moving. The second one is dancing or learning a new motor skill. And the third scenario is climbing a few flight of stairs. Okay, so the three components, okay, that you are going to guess from is endurance, balance, as well as agility. Okay, so let's make a guess. What is standing in the train for, okay, among these three? All right, so again, we have balance, we have endurance, and we have agility. Okay, the right answer is actually balance. So, of course, on the train, they tell us to always hold on to the handrails, okay, or the bar. Is because when the train is moving, you are in a very unstable environment. It's very easy to fall. And with a poor sense of balance, okay, you increase the risk of falling, okay, even when you are not moving at all. Okay, so that's why balance is so important to build, especially as we get older, we actually lose our sense of balance. Next one, dancing or learning a new motor skill. So this can be any physical activity, like you're trying to learn a new sport or you're trying to learn a exercise or dance routine you see on the internet. Okay, it falls under this. So we have agility as well as endurance. Okay, and the answer is agility. Okay, we'll talk more about that later. So of course, the last one, climbing a flight of stairs, that will belong to endurance. Okay, so I think some of you might have some questions already. Earlier on, we have cardio, which is going for a walk or hike, and here we have endurance. What is the difference? Okay, for cardio, it's more about your heart. Okay, it's more about how quickly your heart beats, okay, and how you feel breathless or out of breath. Whereas for endurance, you feel the fatigue on your muscles, on your lower body, such as a burning or burning sensation. Okay, when you walk up a flight of stairs, you feel like your muscles are really sore and tired. Okay, that would be endurance. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So how does all of these different fitness components, relate to us going to the wet market or grocery shopping? Okay, so for strength, like I was saying earlier, it has a lot to do with how much groceries you are able to carry at one go, okay, so that you don't have to do so many grocery trips every week. Okay, the more things you are able to carry, the less frequent you can actually do your grocery shopping. So that's definitely a plus for everyone there. The next one will be the muscular endurance. So when you're holding on to groceries, you're not just lifting it up and putting it down, right? Usually when you buy it, okay, throughout the rest of your grocery shopping, you'll need to hold on to these grocery bags, especially if you're not using any trolleys, if you don't have anyone to help you, you definitely need to hold on to them. And the longer you hold on to them, the more tired you feel. Okay, by having better muscular endurance, okay, you're able to do your grocery shopping for a longer period of time. Okay, and for the next one, we're going to look at actually cardiorespiratory fitness. So, like I said earlier on, the difference between cardiorespiratory fitness and endurance endurance is about how out of breath you feel. So have you ever faced across a situation where you feel out of breath doing something? It could be going up a flight of stairs, it could be exercising under the hot sun, or it could be at your grocery shopping. By improving your cardiorespiratory fitness, okay, you are able to perform your activities for a longer period of time without being out of breath. Okay, this will also ensure, okay, that when you are going from your house to the wet market and back, okay, you are able to make sure that you are able to bring your groceries to and fro in a safe manner as well. Next one, we have balance. So like the term wet market suggests, usually for the traditional wet markets, the floor is going to be really wet because of all the melted ice, because of all the fishmongers and butchers that are around. Okay, the floor is going to be slippery. There's going to be a lot of people. And for seniors, what we definitely want to avoid is falling. Because once you fall, like what Christabelle has mentioned earlier, you might get injured, and it creates a vicious cycle where you are not able to move, and therefore you reduce the amount of muscles you already have, okay, which continues that vicious cycle where you don't want to move even more. By having a strong sense of balance, you'll be able to make sure that you are less likely to fall when there's a lot of people around you, or maybe e-trolleys. You are able to safely maneuver your way out of it as well. Last one, agility. So agility is our ability to change our direction or position of our body, okay, based on a stimulus. Okay, so it can be visual, meaning to say that you saw that someone is coming with an e-scooter or a trolley and you want to avoid the person, or it can be audio, where you are hearing noises, could be the traffic, could be cars, and you want to avoid them at the traffic light. Okay, and all of this agility, okay, it helps you to better be able to react to this different stimulus, okay, and your body is able to follow suit. A lot of times, people with poor sense of agility, what happens is that they are aware that something is coming, something is happening, okay, but their body is not able to respond as quickly. Okay, this could happen when they are going to fall. They know that they are falling, but there's nothing they can do about it as well. So, what has exercise got to do with all of this? By doing exercises frequently, at least 115 minutes a week, okay, you are able to build on these different components of fitness that can have a huge benefit on your experiences at the wet market and also for your daily activities. So over in this slide that you see over here is actually an exercise guideline, okay? This is related to what we'll be doing later with the activity using our notebooks and pens, okay? For our exercise guidelines, according to the World Health Organization, okay, it is recommended to do both aerobic activities as well as strength training activities. So what are the differences? So for aerobic activities, okay, these are things such as brisk walking, jogging, swimming, cycling, anything that gets your heart rate beating faster for a long period of time. Okay, you don't have to choose a particular type of sport. You can choose to split it out into different sports across the week based on your preference as well. And we recommend at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity. So moderate intensity is at an intensity level where you are able to hold a conversation, but you're not able to sing a full song. Okay, so when the next time you are going out doing your aerobic activities, you can try asking yourself these two questions. Are you able to talk? Are you able to sing? Okay, of course, if you are swimming, you probably won't be able to do both, okay, but you get the idea. Otherwise, you can also opt for 75 minutes of vigorous intensity or high intensity exercises per week. So what is the difference, you might be asking? So for high intensity, you find it difficult that you cannot even hold a conversation at all. Whereas for moderate intensity, you can still hold a conversation. What about strength training? So a strength training, there is a few types of components or few types of methods that you can do to do strength training. So one of it is definitely using weights such as dumbbells, kettlebells, and barbells. So the people that you see at the gym, they are using weights, okay, to improve their muscle mass. Another way is to use resistance bands or to use body weight exercises. For seniors, do we need to limit to any one of these four? Actually, the answer is no. Strength training is shown to be very safe and very beneficial for seniors to improve their muscle mass as well as to improve the different components of fitness. Okay, if you're interested to find out more later, we'll share a bit about what Active Health have, okay, for seniors who would like to improve their muscle mass. So for strength training, we recommend at least 2 times a week, not on the same day and not on consecutive days. Okay, if you plan to do strength training, do it on with at least 1 day rest in between the sessions. And usually we train all the different muscle groups. So if you are doing lower body exercises, okay, you can only train your lower body. You need to do upper body exercises to train your upper body. Okay, so the activity is here. Okay, what I would like you all to have a look is that we will be doing a weekly workout calendar. Okay, right now, as of now, right now, okay, I want all of you, okay, to really have a look at your own calendar. Think about the activities that you enjoy, and also think about your lifestyle, your schedule, okay, and plan out from Monday to Sunday what activities you're going to be doing and committing to it. Okay, so over here you see an example of what the template looks like. So for example, on Monday, we're going to be doing, okay, exercises, which is strength training in general. Okay, on Tuesdays, we're going to be doing aerobic activities. So remember, we have brisk walking, swimming, jogging, okay. And then on Wednesday, we're going to take a rest. On Thursday, we're going to repeat that cycle by doing strength training again. And on Friday, we're going to be doing our brisk walking at a light or moderate intensity. And on Saturday, I'll put in a leisure activity that I want to do. It could be going on a picnic, okay, with your family. It could be going with your friends to have a chit-chat session while you are out at the park. Okay, anything that is physical activity related. And lastly, on Sunday, you have your well-deserved rest, okay? So you can just relax at home, okay, enjoy your family time, and that would be how a typical week looks like. Not too difficult, right? So right now, okay, I'm going to make it blank. Okay, right now I want all of you, okay, all of you to really take a minute or two, think about your lifestyle, okay, and start plotting in. Okay, you can use either your phone, your notepad, pen, pencil, okay, and start jotting down from Monday to Sunday, what are the activities. Okay, let us know as well in the Facebook comment section below, because I would love to see what you have written as well. Okay, and just take note, don't get too ambitious at the start. I know that when we are planning or get really excited about it, okay, always start off, okay, very conservatively. Because if you haven't been exercising regularly prior to today's session, it's very likely that you find it difficult to implement a lot of new things at once. Okay, always start slow. Okay, the most important thing is that you are still moving forward. Okay, you're still moving forward to become more physically active and trying to improve your fitness and health. Okay, take note of recovery. Okay, you don't want to plot too many sessions. Also, remember, if you are doing strength training, you want to have a day's rest minimal in between the 2 sessions per week. Okay, pick activities that you enjoy. Okay, so I think most people are more or less done. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So how can you recover better? So we'll be doing 3 things. You can go for your leisure and social physical activities. You can go for your light brisk walks, okay? And you can go for your stretches, okay? So right now, I'm going to have Christabelle here with me to demonstrate some stretching exercises that you can do. Feel free to join us. If you're not feeling well today, you don't have to join us, but you can observe. Okay, so we have 2 different variations that we are going to show you. One is a seated variation and one is a standing variation, okay, without using a chair. So the first one that we're going to be doing is a standing calf stretch. Okay, so if you have a chair with you, you can grab onto the chair for balance. Otherwise, you don't need to. First step is to put your leg, one leg forward and one leg back. How far? About slightly wider than what you're usually comfortable with. I want you to make sure that your heels at your back leg is completely flat on the ground. And I want you to bend both your left and your right knee and slowly lower yourself below. So what will happen is you will feel a slight stretch on the calf muscles at your back leg. If you don't really feel it, okay, you can bring your left leg further back and try this one more time. Okay, if you still don't feel it, very likely your toes for your back leg is not really pointing at the front. I want you to turn your toes to align with the direction in front and hold on to that position. Okay, 5 more seconds and we're going to be changing to the other side. Okay, I want you to slowly get back into a standing position and switch to the other side. Okay, try to maintain the same distance again and lower yourself accordingly. Make sure your heels are really on the ground. Tendency is that your heels tend to come up and then you won't feel any stretch at all. I really like this stretch because it's very simple to do. You don't need much tools, you don't need much machines. You can just do it at the comfort of your own home. Okay, and slowly relax and stand up. The next one, okay, is a quadricep stretch. So what you're going to do is you're going to have something stable beside you, just in case. I want you to lift up one leg, okay, towards your hips, holding the ankle of your leg. Okay, if you need something to hold on to, you can grab onto the chair or grab onto the wall. Okay, and I want you to be standing upright. Try to bring your hips as close to your heels as you can. Okay, so you'll feel a stretch at the front of your thigh. We call it the quadricep, and as what Belle rightfully mentioned earlier, of course, tightness in the quadricep may lead to more knee discomfort as well. Okay, if you can't balance, don't worry, you can put down and raise up again. Okay, otherwise you're going to be slowly lowering this leg and we're going to be raising the other leg up. Okay, always do your stretches slowly. Okay, so usually we do our stretches about 30 seconds to a minute up to your comfort level. We do it multiple times. Okay, if you are comfortable and you like to do more. Otherwise, one set is also sufficient. Okay, so if you find it hard to balance, don't worry, you can always grab onto something. Okay, and remember to breathe. All right, otherwise, we're going to slowly lower this leg as well. You're going to move on to the next stretch, which is a seated hamstring stretch. Okay, so I'm going to show you two variations, one on the chair and one on the floor. So if you're not able to sit on the floor, do not worry, you can sit on the chair as well. The first thing that we're going to do, okay, is we're going to bring our legs out to the front. Okay, if you're seated on the chair, you want to make sure you hold on to the base of your chair. Okay, if you're on the floor, you can put your hands behind for support. Okay, your toes pointing towards your face. Okay, and I want you to do is open up your chest. Open up your chest, okay, and really just hold it in that position. If you find that it's difficult for you to keep your back straight, that could be one sign that your hamstrings might not be very flexible. Okay, so this stretch can help to increase the flexibility of your hamstrings. And by opening up your chest, it really helps you with your posture. A lot of times when we are using our phone, we tend to slouch forward. This will be a good corrective stretching exercise to do. Okay, again, we hold about 30 seconds. Okay, and we slowly relax our shoulders, slowly relax our toes and our legs. What we're going to be doing next, okay, we're going to be bringing one leg close to you. We're going to be doing a hip stretch. Okay, if you're sitting on the chair, you can grab the underside of your thighs. Okay, if you're sitting on the floor, you can go ahead and hug your shin. Okay, if you're sitting on the floor, make sure that your other leg is straight. Okay, if you're seated, do not worry, just make sure that you are stable, that your chair is not moving. Okay, that is the most important thing. Okay, if you are able to hug, good job. Okay, you're not able to hug, it's okay, try your best. What we're trying to aim here is to try to stretch our hips, okay, our glute muscles for the side that we are hugging. Okay, now 10 more seconds, and then we're going to be using the other leg. Okay, slowly straighten your leg, bring back, and hug. So when you're doing this exercise, okay, again, maintain a nice upright posture if you can. If you cannot, okay, don't worry too much also. Okay, this is the first time that you are doing this exercise. Okay, we can only improve from there. All right. Good job. Good job. Those of you are doing it right there. And okay, if you're done, we can relax. We're going to be down to our last and final stretch, which is the butterfly stretch. Okay. There are two variations for the seated position on the ground and the seated position on the chair. Okay. For the ground, you want to make sure that you bring your feet together. Okay. Your hips as close as you can to your feet. If you're doing it on a chair, you can hold on to the base of the chair and open up your legs, okay, to feel that stretch in between your groin. Okay, so there are muscles that are positioned, okay, between our legs, and those are the muscles that we want to stretch when we are doing this exercise. Because we rarely are in a position like this, okay, for most people, the groin muscles can actually get really tight. So you want to make sure again that you are in the upright posture, nice and easy. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath when you are stretching as much as possible. Okay, we have another 10 seconds of this exercise. And relax. Okay, so slowly bring your legs back to the original position. Okay, if you are like me, you can sitting on the ground, you can slowly stand up. Okay, move around and get back into your chair if you would like to. Okay, otherwise, okay, this will be the end of our cool down routine. I hope all of you enjoyed the stretches, and otherwise I will pass it on back to Christabelle.
Okay, thank you, Christopher, for sharing with us some of these useful stretches that we can incorporate into our daily routine for recovery. I felt like more relaxed after doing the lower body exercises. I hope you guys are feeling it too. Of course, other than this, we like to just end off by also sharing 4 different other simple active health habits that you may like to adopt into your lifestyle and improve on this domain of physical activity. Okay, so let's show you what we have on the slide. Okay, so let me just briefly explain each one of this habit, and then you can think through which one is best for you right now. Okay, so habit number 1. Mobile seniors are encouraged to take the stairs instead of the escalator or the lift, because we can help to also at the same time build our lower body strength and cardiorespiratory fitness. So like what Christopher mentioned just now, the difference between your cardiorespiratory fitness and your endurance, right? So we can target both. And in active health, we believe that better beats perfect. So Chris, are you staying in a HDB flat?
Yes, actually I am.
Okay, which floor are you staying on?
13th floor.
13th floor. Do you climb 13 stories every day?
I think quite difficult with the lift that is positioned conveniently. I can just take the lift up after a long day of work. So I would say not so much.
But can you do it 13th floor?
Yes, but I think it'll be quite challenging. In fact, my mom, she does it quite frequently, and she says it's actually not that difficult.
Okay, very good. So, of course, you're not asking, like I mentioned, not perfection, right? So, if you haven't tried it, I know Chris is very fit, right? So, 13 story is not a problem. But maybe you're a senior, right? And you're climbing 1 or 2 flights, you're already panting. So, just start with whatever story you can manage with, then build up with that, like how his mother can now climb 13 flights or 13 stories. Wow. Okay, so eventually you'll be able to climb, right? But if not, start with 1 or 2, then go for the lift after that. Okay. Habit 2. So we mentioned just now, if you can break up your physical activity into blocks of 10 minutes, so it doesn't look so intimidating, right? So if you can, just take a 10-minute brisk walk twice a day, okay? After your meals, maybe after breakfast, after lunch, and that can help you to accumulate 140 minutes in a week. And like what we mentioned, moderate intensity, right? So the pace must leave you panting a little bit such that you can still converse, but you find it difficult to sing along your favorite song, okay? So try it out. Habit 3. So clocking in 10,000 steps. So that will actually make you walk about 100 minutes a day, okay? And it's an easy way to break up your sedentary patterns after sitting down for long periods of time. So if most of us should have maybe a health, an iPhone or Samsung or Android phone, you have apps that help you to track your steps, right? So do check it periodically and then find creative ways to fill up the gap. So Chris, I think this is very simple for you, how to make it harder.
Okay, so if 10,000 steps is something that you've been doing every day, I think there's a lot. Talking to my friends and family members, 10,000 steps is something that they are doing already. What you can do is change how quickly you complete 10,000 steps, or when you're doing it, are you doing it against the upslope or are you doing it against flat ground? I think that will make a huge difference in how difficult the exercise will be.
So it's not just the number of steps anymore. It's
Yes.
how you accomplish those steps, time, the gradient of the slope. Wow, okay. And the last one, habit number 4, if you're up for the challenge and you are already regularly exercising, maybe you can opt for this habit, okay? Try to perform at least 25 minutes of moderate intensity every day, all right? If you have no idea, like, what should I be doing? You can remember, go back to your workout calendar that you have planned. If not, you can also search Get Active TV on Facebook and you can follow some of our interesting workout videos that we have posted up there. So they are all ready made for seniors like you, so go and check it out, okay? So we have shared 4 habits like this, and I want you now to take a minute and think through which one of this habit you think you can adopt this week. Okay, either with by yourself, or if you're staying with someone, please discuss and try to do it together, because that is more successful, definitely, right? So we will release a Facebook poll and I want you to just choose one, okay? We always mention start slow, build up gradually. So start with one habit and you feel that you're getting the hang of it, you can build up and do more than one, okay? So these are just some of the suggested habits. Feel free to add on or to change it up to suit your current lifestyle. Okay, so we just give you some time to take a pick on the poll. So Chris, so like you probably can do more than 25 minutes, right, a day?
Yeah. So for me, I think I'm really looking at the 4th habit, especially because for the stairs and for the 10-minute break is something that I've been doing as a way to reduce my amount of sitting from work. So the 4th habit is something that I find that is challenging, but yet there is also a form of flexibility. You can be doing different things every day. You don't have to be doing 10,000 steps every day. It reduces the tedium and boredom of things. What about you, Belle?
Okay, for me, wow, too challenging. Habit number 4. I'm doing number 1 because nowadays, although I only stay on the 4th floor, now HDB has already all lifts up, right? I don't have to take the stairs anymore, but I'm still trying to go for more stairs. But I see that most of them are like you, okay? You're very active. Majority has chosen option 4, very good. And I think maybe the workout calendar that Chris has helped us to walk through with us just now will really help us to stick to the plan and get started. So make sure you have a plan before you start going ahead with this habit, okay? All right. And we have mentioned a lot. Now in the last few 10 to 15 minutes, just like to hear from you and answer some of the questions that are really coming in on the Facebook comment section. Okay, so let's see what questions are we going to answer today.
I think the first one is that someone who has frequent knee pain, what kind of exercise the person should do, okay, to improve their balance as well as their agility. So I think depending on the severity of your knee pain, there are certain things that you cannot do. But for balance, one exercise that comes to mind, okay, is actually the single leg stand. Okay, and this single leg stand is really simple. Okay, maybe I'll take a few steps back. So how we want to do it is to keep one leg up and stand there in that position. So I like this exercise personally for me when I'm doing the dishes. Okay, I find that to be a really simple exercise to do. At the same time, it doesn't take additional time out of your schedule. And for agility, it really depends on your current capability and also your current knee pain. So perhaps you can try out the single leg balance first, hold it and alternate between the two during your dishwashing session. The next one, they say, how long should each strength training be? 10 minutes or 20 minutes? Okay, there isn't a recommended duration, but what you want to do is that when you're doing the activity, you want to target all the major muscle groups. So if you are doing your upper body, you also want to make sure that you're doing your lower body. And usually, if you want to have as much muscle groups covered as possible. Usually you find that 10 minutes might be a bit difficult. But if you haven't been doing any of these activities, okay, I recommend starting with 10 minutes first, because it gradually gets your body comfortable, okay, and acclimatized to the intensity and also the load of the activity.
Okay. I see a lot of questions are mainly on strength, how to build up strength. I think that's something, one of the major concerns. Maybe we can go through one or two exercises to build up lower body strength, especially those of you who are walking, always walking, you're building your heart health. But maybe you can also incorporate one or two lower body strengthening exercises to help you to improve the walking, right?
Yes,
So
definitely.
maybe should we show them with sit to stand or like a...
Okay, so I think maybe what I would like to show is chair assisted lunges exercise. I think for lunges, a lot of people really struggle.
You can mention.
Sure. A lot of people really struggle with performing a lunge. So when the purpose of the chair is for you to put it at the side and for you to make sure that you are stable during the entire position. So we start off with one leg in front and one leg behind. So I'm not going to move my feet. Okay, I'm going to keep my feet in these two positions. If need be, you can move your feet further back when you're doing this exercise. So when you're doing a lunge, you want to make sure that you are going up and down only. You're not going forward and back. Common mistake with lunges is that a lot of people do it in a forward and back motion. So Belle is doing it. So Belle is doing the negative demonstration earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like this. Okay, so this is the negative demonstration.
I think usually it's because they always start to move first, right? Without
Yes.
practicing on how much should they be stepping out.
Exactly. So with the chair in place, it makes sure that you are doing the lunge properly, going down and up. And for many people, once you modify this component, you realize that most of the knee pain goes away, if not all. All right. And if you want to switch, it's very simple. You just have to turn the other direction, face the other direction, and then you can switch the other side as well.
Okay. So once we're done with static, and then we can start doing the moving one.
Correct.
Right? So it looks something like that.
Yeah, so like what Belle has rightfully mentioned, when you are comfortable doing it with the chair, you can start to do it without the chair. Yeah. Okay, so
of course, I don't think they don't have to go that low.
Yes, correct. Maybe... Follow your knee comfort. Okay, you can always start off with a very small range of motion. All right. Of course, if you feel that as a senior, this exercise might still be too difficult, okay, especially maybe for the pioneer generation, they might find it difficult to do a lunge. Okay, we can definitely do something what we call a sit to stand. Sit to stand. So make sure that the chair you have at home has no wheels. Make sure that it doesn't move, and make sure that it's stable, not the plastic stools that you have, okay, that are very fragile and break easily. So for the sit to stand, you want to be comfortably sitting on the chair, and you can put your hands either on your shoulders or on your hips. Okay, any variation is fine. What you want to do is you want to stand up from this seated position, okay, and sit back down. So the chair should not be moving. Okay, the chair should not be moving, and you want to repeat this exercise. Okay, how long? It really depends. Okay, you can start off with 30 seconds of sit to stand, or you can increase that duration to up to a minute. So the whole purpose of this is for you to make sure that you can do this exercise without putting too much pain on your knees, and also as a safety measure in the event that you are not strong enough to support your entire body weight, the chair is there to protect you. So try this out, 1 minute, okay, of sit to stand, as many as you can, okay?
So the same as the lunges one, right? You can do it either time-wise, 1 minute, or maybe 10 repetitions. That's one set. You can do up to maybe 3 sets, so 30 each day.
Correct. So you can always start off light. Okay, the guidelines are really there just as a guideline. Everyone is different and unique. All right, I think the last one is brisk walking considered a good exercise for seniors. Can it be replaced with other exercises? Okay, brisk walking is definitely a good exercise. Okay, but repetitive movement may lead to a lot of knee discomfort in the long run. So we can actually play around with the exercises. So if you're thinking of brisk walking in your head, what other things can you do, okay, besides brisk walking when you're at the park? You can try walking sideways. You can try walking backwards. I'm sure that you have seen some people in the park doing like this. When you are doing variations like this, okay, you're actually using different muscle groups that you don't typically use when you are walking. It's the same case as why for running and walking, even though you're moving forward in the forward direction, the muscles you use are actually quite different. So you can give a try, but make sure if you want to do any backward walking or sideway walking, make sure you do it in a safe environment. If you are near the road, okay, I think it's not a very good idea. If it's very dark outside with no lights, you might want to avoid that as well.
Yep. So to answer the question, definitely brisk walking is beneficial for the elderly because it improves your heart health, provided if you walk at the moderate intensity we were talking about. But then we also mentioned that cardiorespiratory fitness is only one component, right? And then that's why we introduce a few strengthening exercises that maybe you can incorporate. Maybe I would also add on, it will be, I'm someone who do more cardio than strength. So what I realized that is when we walk, we do maintain leg strength because our body weight is on our legs, right? But we are lacking, maybe neglecting some upper body strengthening exercises. So maybe to add on will be after your walks, can you find a bench or can you just find a fitness corner that you can add on some upper body strengthening exercises, okay? So that will be additional advice or tip.
Yeah, so I think due to the lack of time also, we won't be able to answer all of your questions as well. We do apologize in advance for that. But the last question that I see right here, if we can't go outside to do our activities and because it might be dangerous and we need to be at home also, what can we do? Okay, so definitely what I could think of is joining one of our balance and muscular fitness workshops that we conduct over at Active Health. So the whole purpose and aim of this workshop is really, like the name suggests, to improve your balance as well as at the same time to improve your muscle growth, muscle hypertrophy. And these exercises can be done at home. These exercises can be done in the comforts of your home in front of a laptop on Zoom, or you can come down to one of our Active Health labs to do it. Yep. So later on, I think Belle, you share.
Later we will share the link that you can go and explore and then join us for all our Zoom workouts. Okay, if you are thinking I want to build cardio, we got cardio workouts, we got balance and muscular fitness workout, and we also got mobility and flexibility workout. Yes. Right, so that covers almost 4 or 5 components already. So do join us for our Zoom workouts by Active Health. Okay. Yeah. There's a question asked whether should you be wearing knee guards while doing exercise and while walking. What is your
for
advice?
Knee guards? Okay, people are wearing it because when they wear it, they perceive less pain. And when they look at the research, it seems to suggest that the knee guards retain heat better. That's why they feel more comfortable when they are doing it, but it doesn't necessarily help to protect the joint. Okay, so there's still a lot that is going on with this research. And of course, when I look at knee guards or knee brace or braces in general, okay, the idea is that they support your joints, but you might become overly dependent or reliant on it. Okay, so when it comes one day that you don't have that knee guard, are you still able to carry on your activities? That would be the key question to ask. So as much as possible, I would say try not to use it. Of course, there would definitely be instances where you might want to use it because of your own comfort. Yeah. Okay, so
maybe use it if it kind of at the start it raises your confidence to do some physical activity. Yeah. But slowly you want to wean off that guard, that brace, and then start as you incorporate more strengthening exercises. Hopefully you won't need to use that guard anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. One more question. What is the best time to do exercise, morning or evening? Well, there is no perfect time. It really depends on your schedule. Although morning, we will say is most preferable. Okay, there are a few reasons. One, maybe you get the sunlight, right? So you get vitamin D, provided you exercise outside and not at home. Okay, so in the morning, you get extra benefit of vitamin D, the exposure of sunlight. Also, personally, if you plan to do a morning workout and it doesn't happen, it actually gives you some time to work out another time of the day, okay, the afternoon in the evening. So for me, that is also why morning is the best. What do you think yourself?
Okay, I think in terms of your own schedule, finding your own schedule is definitely the most important thing. Of course, like what Belle said, there are benefits to exercising at different times of the day. At the evening, the testosterone levels are higher. You might have more benefits in building muscle. But then again, if you're not exercising at all, because you can't exercise in the evening, it defeats the purpose, right? So most of these benefits are actually very small. Okay, the differences are really very small. What is more important, you actually do the exercises. And how you feel when you're doing it is more important. If you do it in the morning, you feel very rushed, okay, you might just rush through the exercise. And therefore, in that case, it might be better doing it in the evening and vice versa.
Yeah, so it really is down to personal preference, right?
Yep.
Okay, I think there's one question asked, that mentions about cracking in the bones. Can you explain why? Why is that cracking, or what can we do to reduce cracking? Any?
Okay, I think there's really many factors. So, but of course, for your different conditions, the cracking may mean different things, and I think it's better to seek a medical professional because they will know best about your current condition, especially a family doctor. Of course, we still recommend moving, even if there's a presence of some pain, because of certain conditions like arthritis. Okay, your joints will stiffen if you do not move it, and it is more serious, okay, than to not move, okay, than move because of some form of pain. But of course, you want to manage your pain to as low a level as you can by doing stretching or flexibility exercises. Okay, it can reduce the pain, at the same time help to stave off, okay, joint stiffening due to arthritis.
Yeah. So I think today, all in all, we have answered most of the questions, we hope. And I hope that what we brought to you, what you take away from today is that not just one single exercise and not one single fitness component is important. All the other fitness components and all types of exercises are beneficial, right? And so we just need to we definitely have personal preference on what we like to do, but slowly to explore others so that you can benefit from exercise itself. Okay, so I think with that, we'd like to thank you for joining us in today's session. We really hope that it has been beneficial to you and you have found it useful. Please like the video, share it with your loved ones so that they can also learn these tips at their own pace and own convenience. Okay, we mentioned just now about all our e-workshops and other workshops that we have. So register for more of our e-workshops via the link that you see on the slide. Okay. go.gov.sg/activehealth-e-workshops. All right, or you can also visit our website www.activehealth.sg and find out what workshops will benefit you. Okay. All right. So with that, we just want to thank you for joining us and leave you with our tagline. You see the whole session today, okay, behind us. Better beats perfect. Yeah. So put into practice the habit that you have chosen, okay, in the next 24 hours before you forget, and keep taking all these small actions to improve your health. All right. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Chris, as well.
Thank you, Belle.
We'll see you again. Stay active, stay safe, and goodbye.